This is your Weather Extreme video for July the 14th. I'm Brian Peters. Thanks for tuning in. There's a look at the Trussville Skycam this morning, and certainly some clouds left over from the showers yesterday afternoon as we continue in a somewhat diurnal pattern of showers and thunderstorms extending into the evening hours. And there's a look at Tuscaloosa as the lights are winking out and the sun is rising. We're going to look first at the upper air pattern, or the sounding from last night. Going to look at Jackson this morning because the sounding from Birmingham was released when showers and thunderstorms were going on, and it only got to 600 millibars. But what I wanted to point out is that the atmosphere remains somewhat moist, a little bit down from what we've seen over the last week or so, so somewhat less unsettled than we've seen. In the meantime, we have at the surface generally high pressure, and the front and the boundary that's been giving us somewhat unsettled weather and aiding with all of the showers and thunderstorms is somewhat diminished and hard to locate at all. There's a little bit of a inverted trough moving across the northern Gulf, but nothing special going on there. We are watching a little disturbance that's out in the southwest Atlantic, and that disturbance could be affecting us by the middle of the week. We'll be following that in the model run. In the meantime, we're still dealing with the troughiness off to our west that has been helping to keep things somewhat unsettled. QPF still looking at chances for some 1 to 2 inch amounts as a front comes down into the eastern half of the country later in the week. But in the meantime, the much of the rain related to the boundary along the Gulf Coast, the sea breeze front, and a little bit of shower activity that'll be scattered. And somewhat more settled on severe weather as well, looking at just a slight risk over the northwest part of the United States for day one, and a little bit of sea text in the Great Lakes area. And the tropics are also quite quiet. All right, modeling this morning. This is the 06Z GFS model run, and look out there in the southwest Atlantic, and you see a little disturbance. In the meantime, we've got the trough that's off to over about Shreveport area, but that little disturbance out there in the southwest Atlantic, we'll be following that. And so for now, with the inverted trough in the Gulf, that's where much of the rain will occur today, and showers over the southeastern U.S., all pretty much driven by the afternoon heating, with highs getting to around 90 to 92 or so. The little disturbance, I'm going to focus primarily on that. The little disturbance comes towards the Georgia coast on Sunday. In the meantime, nothing of any significance for us. We watch that disturbance come into the Georgia coast, and this is a very weak disturbance, so it's just going to help to enhance, I think, the daily chances for showers and thunderstorms in the vicinity of that feature. By Tuesday, it is now at least being shown on the models as a little bit of a closed low in the upper atmosphere, so a little bit stronger, but still we're not looking at, just humongous amounts of rain or anything. We're just looking at maybe a little bit of enhanced coverage to the showers and thunderstorms. By Wednesday, it is now in the vicinity of southeast Alabama, so affecting us. The ridge still off to the west, and still troughiness over the east coast. We stay with the troughiness and the ridge, the 594 now, the heat bubble as James refers to it sometimes as, and that certainly is aiding in very warm weather over the central plains. But in the meantime, as you can see from the surface map, the front is coming down into the Ohio and Tennessee River Valley area once again, and that front moves on down into Tennessee by Friday according to the GFS, and by Saturday it is down into the Tennessee River Valley. Now, will that occur? We just don't get fronts down here that often, although we've had this boundary that's given us this unsettled weather over the last week or so. But even the European is fairly favorable for doing this. The European a little more aggressive, I think, with the rain than what the GFS is. But certainly it looks like perhaps by next weekend we might see once again some increased shower activity, but that's beginning to verge out into voodoo country. Speaking of voodoo country, I do like the looks of the GFS outlook for week 2. That look is with a troughiness over the east coast and a ridge over the Rockies, and that's good because that keeps us out of extreme heat. Sure, this pattern probably, maybe upper 80s, lower 90s. That's fairly typical for July in the southeastern United States. Well, thanks for tuning into the Weather Extreme video. Expect to have the next one posted on Sunday morning, first thing, around 7:30 or 8. In the meantime, I hope that your day is a good one, and Godspeed.
Thank you for trusting us to be your #1 source for news
in all of Central Alabama.
In back-to-back ratings periods,
more people watched ABC 3340
than any other station in Birmingham.